Okay, well.
Ouch.
Oh my gosh! Oh my god!
Maybe my friends are right, and he's not into me, and he's not into any woman. I really think that you are gay.
I don't think he is gay.
I know you're there for me, and I hate it. I'm like, why did this have to happen?
It wasn't the time, it wasn't the place. It's all good.
It's all good. So what are you doing last night? It was a good time. You didn't have a good time?
I think so. I don't remember. No, I feel bad for Jean.
Hey everybody, welcome back to 9 Day Fiance, The Single Life. So we're on part 4, and this is a re-upload because the one I posted on Tuesday night got blocked. So if you already watched this video for me, then you don't have to watch it again, unless you want to, okay? Nobody's stopping you. So... But the main difference is that I'm going to be talking over some of the clips that have the audio in it so it doesn't get copyright claimed again. And if it gets copyright claimed again, then I'm not going to post another re-upload. And sometimes I feel like it's okay to give up. Anyways, welcome back. So we left off on John proposing to Megan, and yeah, it was really sweet, but I wouldn't have cried over that. But you know, to each their own. And obviously she said yes, but I'm thinking, what kind of ring is that? Because it kind of looks like a game ring, but I'm pretty sure I'm missing some context here since I didn't watch them. But they take a break and John's brother calls his wife and they kind of talk about it, and neither of them feel truly happy about the whole thing. But John's like, he knows that they're moving really fast and he knows that Megan gave him a timeline, but he didn't know that John would actually propose to her today. While his wife is like, oh my god. So, moving on. Now it's Debbie's turn. So they bring on 2 guests, Fernanda and Debbie. And I don't know who Fernanda is, but she looks so good in that dress. By the way, she barely speaks on this episode, so I don't really know why they even brought her. So they bring up Debbie's past date with Ross, where she lied about her age. Debbie called it a white lie, but the cast quickly corrected her and said that 2 years is a white lie, but 10 years is just a straight up lie. And John even says like it's from 40 to 50, so it's just a lie. And yeah, because that's a whole decade you're erasing. So Debbie's excuse is that people don't talk to her when she shows her real age, which is why she lies. And then the other Debbie tells her that she shouldn't be on them and she should go meet people face to face. Like she's coming in hot, and I feel like it's well deserved. So now Debbie feels like she's getting attacked, which I don't really feel like it's an attack, more like a hard truth, but certainly not an attack. So OG Debbie says that it might be Debbie's profile, like how she has her profile, and then Debbie's like, oh, you think my profile's no good? And then OG Debbie says that there's a special app for seniors, and if she tried that one, and oh my gosh, the sass, it's so funny. And then that's when Debbie says that Mama's Debbie's on the attack for Miss Debbie. So Debbie's now doing her best to defend herself, and it seems like the only person that supports her is Natalie. But you can't be delusional and taking advice from another delusional person. It's like a blind leading the blind. It doesn't work, okay? So let's stop it right now and get some real help. So Debbie says that she didn't mean nothing bad about it and that she was just more creative about reality, which I think it's crazy that she would say that. And then she says that she would lie as well. Like if she really wants to keep a guy, then she would lie about it. So everybody tells the bad experiences about being lied to. And more of the story, just tell the truth, you guys. There's no point in lying, just tell the truth. So now they bring up Julian, and he tells us that he tried to hook up Debbie with really great and respectable guys, but she keeps turning them down. One of her excuses is that she wants an artist. But what's crazy to me is that when she finds an artist, she says, nah, I don't like the way he dresses. Like, he dresses just like you, Debbie. What are you talking about? So Julian's issue is that he wants someone to take care of his mom rather than someone that looks like they can't. But Julian still insists that something is wrong with Ruben, and he feels it in his gut. And the reason why he says that is because every time he asks him questions, then he answers it in a roundabout way. But I feel like Ruben's just too nervous to talk to Julian because of his demeanor. So now Ruben finally comes out, and he looks just as colorful as I thought he was gonna look. And then we find out that they haven't seen each other since Debbie came to visit him back when they were like recording like the episode, but they still text back and forth. But Debbie starts asking him a whole bunch of questions. No, not this, Debbie. this Debbie. She asks him if they're exclusive. Then she asks him if he sees other women. Then she asked him if he's been in many relationships, if he's been married, if he has kids. Then she was like, when's the last time you've been in a relationship? And then after all of that, she's like, okay. And I'm like, are you sure that's okay? Do you want to ask him some more? Like, geez, give him a break. And even Debbie's like, who's the policeman here? And I'm glad she said something because we don't need two Julians. So they show clips of Julian acting crazy. And basically his excuse was that it's all because of Debbie dealing with Osama. And Wubin snaps back and lists every green flag that he has. He says he has plenty of money in the bank, he has zero mortgage, his house is free, his car is free, and that everything about him is free. And that Julian needs to compare an apple with an apple, not an apple with a banana. Because him and Osama are like in two different worlds. And I 100% agree with Wubin. Like, why should he pay the price of what Osama did? They are not the same people. So apparently right before the reunion, Debbie texted Wubin if they could see each other. And Wubin didn't reply back until much later. And by that time, it was too dark, but Wubin didn't mind getting together at night. Debbie had a problem with that and wanted him to run to her as they haven't seen each other in so long. But they all seem to be upset at Wubin, but he didn't see the message till later, so I don't get what the problem is here. And it's not like he won't see you right after the reunion, so once again, I don't see the problem here. But Wubin's main thing here was that he didn't want to seem like the type of person to call her late at night, like a booty call. So that's why he was nervous about them even meeting at night. But because he knows that Debbie's kind of like a conservative woman, he was just nervous about the whole thing. But what do you guys think? So then after that, Sean asks everybody if they go together and they all agree, but Debbie's saying that he's too over the top. Now, Miss Debbie, I know you aren't bringing this up again while wearing what you're wearing. And I'm so glad Veronica pointed out her outfit because, girl, be for real. So she says that he's a little bit over the top, and then she says that the pink pants she can live with, but that it needs to be paired with like a black top. And so Veronica says, Debbie, you're wearing a tutu and a goldfish. Like, come on now. And Wubin even had her face on his socks and underwear. Like, what is the problem here? Please tell me.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Those are cute!
Bloomers.
No.
On his bloomers.
Okay, but things take a strange twist when we find out that Wubin is still on those dating apps, and then we find out that he set his age preference from 30 years old to 50 years old. Obviously, Debbie is older than 50, so now it has caused some doubt in her mind about the relationship. Also, by the way, at this point, they're not really exclusive, but I feel like with how low Wubin has set his age preference, I feel like that's kind of alarming. Not kind of alarming, that's really alarming. He says, I mean, I don't go and ask what's your age. That's not my number one criteria, because it's about having fun and being like a good fit. And he says that age is just an irrelevant number. And Tim's reaction was my exact reaction when he said this. And now my green flag is now slowly turning yellow. Actually, they're both actually the same in that aspect. So I feel like they're actually perfect for each other, which is so funny because now they're officially exclusive. And Fernanda is like, I'm rooting for you guys. And you guys, look at the way Ruben looks at her. Oh, it cracks me up. Okay, so now Debbie's done and they bring out Louisa and Jamal. And Tim and Veronica do not look happy at all. So Tim says that it didn't work out between them because they just weren't compatible, but he still sees Louisa as a friend. But Louisa, on the other hand, is just shaking her head. And I'm like, oh girl, what is it? So Louisa said that they never had a relationship and he was never available for her, but only called her to complain about his life. She said that she's not no damn therapist. And Tim, if that's true, then what the fuck? So then Jamal puts in his 2 cents and basically calls Tim a hypocrite because Louisa said that Tim used her and Tim always accused of Jamal of using Veronica.
So I'm just like, wow, it's like the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
So good job, Tim.
No, it's not
Yeah,
the pot
yeah,
on the
so-
kettle black.
So then they show clips of the relationship, and Tim does admit that he takes relationships very slowly. And Louisa seemed to be the opposite, so it seemed like the relationship was destined to fail anyways. And the guys honestly can't understand why Tim won't sleep with her. And Tim is like, every single time he comes on the stage, they always focus on this. Like, why didn't he try to sleep with this girl? And he's just like, who cares? Because honestly, who cares? And I'm siding with Tim here. Like, there are some things that he just isn't comfortable with, and to push him and make him seem like the bad guy here just because he doesn't like intimacy as much as the next guy, it's just wrong, okay? It's just wrong. So Louisa goes on and on and on about how much Tim is not interested in her, and then says that maybe her friends were right and that he's gay. And I genuinely feel like if she feels that, then she feels that. But to say it out loud, girl, because obviously we're all thinking the same thing, but you know. So Tim says that he is not gay, so everybody that had their suspicions, me included, need to rest, okay?
I really think that you are gay.
I don't give a what people say.
Louisa's like, why don't you care about the people that love you, like me? And I'm thinking, girl, if you really loved him, then you wouldn't have said that out loud. Like, what do you mean? Also, do you guys see, like, do you feel like she's latching on, like, too much? Like, I feel like she's kind of obsessed with him. But Tim says the same thing, like, about her not really loving him. He says that people that actually love him know the real him and know that he's not actually gay. And then he tells Louisa that to sit there and say that you thought that means that she doesn't really love him. And then Louisa's like, now, I don't know you. And I was rooting for Louisa, but now she got me side-eyeing her. So the cast feels like Tim has low testosterone, but you guys, I just feel like he doesn't really give a shit, okay? Like, just let the guy chill. It doesn't really matter whether he has it or not. Just let him chill. So now they're speculating if Louisa and Jamal have gotten together, and they're kind of denying it, but they're also flirting with each other, and Veronica's just shaking her head. So Louisa's like, yeah, he's handsome, and Jamal's like, you think I'm handsome? And she's like, yeah, you're hot. And then Jamal's like, I'm nervous now, and Louisa's like, don't act like Tim. Oh my gosh. So they ask Louisa if she has anything else to say to Tim, and to be honest, she sounds really hurt, like an ex-girlfriend who just can't let go. She says that you don't want a healthy relationship because you have the opportunity with me, that he doesn't want it, he doesn't like it, and that he doesn't care about her, he doesn't appreciate her, and that she doesn't deserve this. But then they go on break, and Louisa and Jamal are talking when Tim and Veronica come in, and Louisa confronts Tim, saying that he used her and made her feel like they were in a relationship until a month ago. But I feel like with all the examples that she threw out earlier in the show with how much he didn't show interest in her, she should have known that there was no relationship there. So Tim says that he's sorry that he hurt her feelings, but to be honest, he doesn't really look like he cares.
Like
no, you are not going to her anymore because I'm done with you. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Oh, Louisa, girl, what do you guys think? Because I'm starting to get mixed feelings about her. So then Veronica and Jamal are talking, and I'm like, hello? What the hell is going on? No, actually, what the hell is going on? What is everybody on? So he's like, what are you doing after? And she's like, right now she has to talk to Tim. And he's like, oh, it's always about Tim. Tim this, Tim that. And then he asks her if they're in a good place. And she's like, well, call me later and we'll figure out how good of a place we're in. And then she kisses him on the head. What? So Veronica's hanging out with everybody and they bring up wanting to go and eat. And she says that maybe Jamal can come too. And everybody's shocked at that. So then she leaves and she spills the tea. She said that she saw Louisa and Jamal at the restaurant. And then we see what we don't see. But we see that it's Jamal and Louisa talking. And Louisa's like, I just like remember little things. And Jamal was like, what, last night? We did that a couple times. I had a blast. 10 out of 10. And Louisa's like, oh my gosh. And then John confirms that they all know that they spent the night together, like hanging out together. So the way that they're talking, it's obvious that they hooked up, okay? They did the nasty, and am I surprised? No, not really. But am I surprised that he was just flirting with Veronica while actively getting with Louisa? Yes. Like, honestly, Jamal is such a dog. So that's where the episode ends. Let me know what you guys thought because that was just crazy. So the next tell-out will be the last one. Chantel teaches Debbie how to twerk. Natalie realizes that she's the problem. Who would have thought, okay? That was surprising. And we have Debbie versus Debbie, okay? I am so excited. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and see you guys later. Bye!